Okay folks, today I've got a real treat for you. This is a first design Borg-Warner Super T10 4-speed transmission. These came out in the early 70s and were originally made to replace earlier T10s like those in early Corvettes, 348 and 409 Impalas, etc. And these were an aftermarket replacement. Hopefully you'll be able to see this if it ever focuses. This one is an AS3 T10W. I believe it has a 264 first gear, but I will confirm. And like I said, the early T10s were pretty weak transmissions, and once you put any kind of tire behind them, they would just explode. But if you had a 283 fuel injection Corvette or something, this would be the replacement that was available back in the early 70s. And a lot of guys went with that replacement, even though this transmission is way stronger than what those ever could have been put through. Anyway, I recently bought out the collection of a longtime Corvette collector who had been redoing fuel injection Corvettes since the early 80s, maybe even the late 70s. And every time he would pull a transmission out to replace it with an original numbers matching one, the transmission would just go on the shelf. And this is one of the ones that was on the shelf. So most of them have been sitting there since the early 80s. This one's probably no exception. And it looks really nice. I left it in core condition just as it was found on the shelf, but there's no breaks or repairs, anything like that. You'll see more in the pictures of the listing. But just an absolutely beautiful example. There's no chipped or corroded teeth. All of the engagement teeth look really nice, as again you'll see in the pictures. But I want to show you now, just so you know. And I'll run it through each gear now, just to show you that everything functions properly, and then yeah, you'll have an idea what we're dealing with here. But it's a very hard to find tranny here. Those in the know will know. But if you were looking for the hottest thing in the early 70s, it was either this or a Hemi 4-speed out of a Mopar. Clearly Hemi 4-speeds are very expensive, and frankly this one is probably stronger than that. So anyhow, I'm going to say it should be gone through, but I don't see any issues with it. It's just been sitting for decades and decades. But there's all 4 forward gears with 2-finger operation, and finally we'll put it in reverse here with our trusty crescent wrench, if we can make it work. So this is reverse, and same deal, 2 fingers, and you'll see everything is operating opposite of each other. Anyway, a beautiful original example of an early Super T10. Again, you'll see more in the pictures, but I believe both the main case and the tail shaft are dated 72. Yeah, so it looks like maybe 5/13/72 and something 20/72. Anyway, a real deal original transmission. I'm not sure the side cover had ever been off before I just pulled it. Just a gorgeous original bona fide early Super T10. If you had something that was the top dog back then, like a Baldwin Motion Supercar or Yenko or something like that, very likely it would have ended up with one of these after it blew up its original. This was the strongest unit available back in the day. Anyway, don't miss it, guys.